So I was talking about getting ready to deal with some greenhouse stuff with Sharon. One of the first things I got to do is fix this light up. She wants a little bit of extra lighting, so I'm going to clean it up and add a couple of bulbs to it. But good fluorescent ballast will serve you forever if you take care of it. I just got done wiping it down. I'm gonna put a new it didn't have a plug on it anymore because I had it hardwired at the last thing I was at, so I'm gonna just put a little electrical plug on it, show you how to do that, and then we'll go hang it in the greenhouse. So anyway, this is a pretty easy process here. What I'm about to show you how to do is just put a well, what this is they call it a Hubble in the movie industry, but I don't know what the actual term is. A Hubble is a type of one of these, but it's a three-pronged light end that goes on an extension cord or a light fixture. So what you got is your ground, and then you got your hot, and you've got your neutral. And I suggest picking up a basic wiring book or watching some basic wiring YouTube videos, but all I'm doing today for the farm is putting this on this, and it's really straightforward. Each one of these wires connects to one of these three prongs on the inside of this fixture here. First of all, here's the tools you got. I got a couple of different size screwdrivers. I got the stripper, the wire stripper, and it's got a cutter there so you can cut it if you need to. This is all recently cut, so now I just got to strip it. So you just take this about, it doesn't have to be too far, like 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, and then this is I kind of guess on there, it looks like that's about a 15 gauge or 16 gauge, so I'll start there. No, it's not. Oh yeah, that's it right there. So see how that just stripped it right off? Little rubber piece came right off. All right, so green is for ground, and black is the hot, and white is the neutral. Okay, so now I have these all stripped. Just twist this to kind of get them to come together. Just not too much, not a big deal. I just like them to not come apart when I'm pushing them in. This plug, it's got these three screws that come down, and it sinks into this. You can't really see because of the light, but there's like little, you can kind of see that one there. But there's like this little, they're basically like a screw with a screw hole that you put it in, and these three guys go in real easily, and they just twist in. But what we're doing now is the wiring portion. Now you see, if you're looking at this, you can kind of see a silver set screw right here. Silver goes to white. Then you got this brass set screw here, and that'll go to the black. And then the green set screw right there. Oops, gosh, my finger's in the way. And that green set screw right there, that'll go to the green. Pretty straightforward, right? And then you know, they're loosened up, and then there's this little pinching point right here. You can kind of see how it kind of moves back and forth. As you're gonna pry that, it's gonna pop open, and you're gonna stick the wire in there, and then you're gonna tighten the set screw down until it's nice and firmly tight. You don't have to over wrench it, but you want it to be tight in there. So, because you don't want it to pull out. All right, this piece goes on. So that's through now. So now I always go, it doesn't really matter what order you go in, so you get it, make sure it's gonna fit in there, and then you kind of let it set like that, and you just slide it on in there, and then you know that because the white there's no wire exposed, that one's good. So I'll just turn it over, tighten it down. Firmly tight, but not too tight. You don't want to strip that set screw. You give it a little tug, make sure it's set, good. You don't have to reef on it. Same thing with the green wire. Stick it in, tighten it down. Don't want it to slip once again. And finally the black wire into the brass. So I always remember silver is white and black is brass. That's kind of how I do it in my head. And green is ground. So that's kind of how that goes, and then you kind of just bunch them together. So you got a nice clean bunching group together there. Make sure that no wires are cross touching or anything. You don't have any problem because you were careful. Then you just take this guy here and you just slide it up and in place, and you just make sure your screws line up. There's only one way that it lines up, so you just gotta spin this until it's the right direction, and then you just slide it in there nice and easy. Boom. So there they go. You can kind of tell that it's set because there's like this little ridge right here. And then you see that little ridge that's shiny there. You push it in and then that flushes out. You hold it down tight. You take the right screwdriver. I use a smaller one for this screws. And you just twist them in. Once again, you don't want to strip it, so you just kind of go around nice and easy. Firm pressure on these because they are going into plastic, so you don't want it to slide or slip or anything. I use the bigger one once I got them set, so I get a little more force from the outside there. Boom. Okay, so that's in there now, and that's your plug end. And then so the last thing you want to do is, you see these two screws here. This takes the slack so that if like something yanks on the cord, it doesn't just rip it straight out. So I kind of just push it in a tiny bit, hold it in there with my fingers like that, and then these you can reef down pretty good. It's just it holds the slack so that the cord doesn't rip out. And once you're done with that, you're ready to go. So I replaced the bulbs, and now this that I just showed you how to wire, I'm going to plug it in and see if we have light. Let there be light, maybe? Hey, it worked. That's good news. Excellent. So that's going to go into the greenhouse. I'll hang it, and we'll have a little bit more light rolling on the greenhouse. Forget keeping the starts going.